What is going on, YouTube people? Northeast Ohio Cards and Comics. And today, I have a very simple question for you. Do we have too many selling platforms? That's what we're going to talk about today. Is the market too diluted? Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz down below. I've been seeing a lot of comments recently on videos that I've posted on Facebook and different social media circles, forums, groups, Discord about, man, my eBay views are really down. eBay seems to be moving a lot slower than what I'm used to. I'm just not getting the offers like I used to, this, that, and the other. That's kind of the general sentiment. I feel like I get at least 2 or 3 of those comments in any type of market style video that I post. So why is that? Is it, the general market is still continuing to pull back? People are still leaving. Not as many new people are coming in. Everything's still kind of sorting itself out. Yeah, I do think there's still a little bit of that going on. But I also think the base of places to buy cards from is larger than it's ever been. We have more marketplaces than I think we know what to do with. And I've seen people quote numbers about, card sales are way down on eBay the last couple months. Well, duh. They kicked PWCC off the platform, the #1 seller of cards on the platform. Of course, if you look at raw numbers like that, card sales are going to be way down. All those PWCC auctions are gone. That was a ton of inventory that moved every single month. So I do still firmly believe eBay is the #1 place. It still gets the most eyes. But there is a lot of competition in the marketplace now. We mentioned PWCC already. They had a fixed price store. Now they're doing their monthly auctions on their own website again. Good, bad, or indifferent, they're over there. Goldin just launched their new website. I haven't had a ton of time to dig into that one yet, but their thing's up and running now. There's Alt, which is a little bit less auctiony, but more, best offer buy it now. But they're beginning to dive into a little bit more auctions. MySlabs sponsor the channel, very popular website. I like them a lot. They're beginning, they've posted, I haven't seen one for a while, but I know for a couple months there, they were posting like, hey, we set a new record in terms of number of sales or volume or whatever. For multiple weeks or months in a row, they were hitting new highs. StarStock still out there. COMC is still out there. Shows are back in full force. There are shows all over the freaking place, from 40 table local shows in a high school gymnasium or a VFW to 400 table shows at large convention centers almost every month. You watch someone like Roth Cards or Ryan from Breakout Cards or whatever that's traveling to these bigger shows. It feels like they're at a big show. Like Roth, it feels like he's like a big show every week. Vegas, Dallas, Philly, Hofstra, whatever. There's a big show in Chicago. Not this coming weekend, next weekend, I believe. There's a 400 table show in Chicago. People are selling on Discords, IG, Twitter. I mean, that stuff's always been going on. But I think with the increase with eBay fees being 14% now, or over 14% in some cases, there is being more and more. The opportunity has arisen for people to come in and grab some of that market share. That's what MySlabs was great at, with just, hey, let's just use PayPal goods and services for everything. We'll charge a 1% fee for kind of creating, the search engine marketplace place to post all the stuff. And everyone's kind of happy. So, you cut out 10% of the fee structure right there. So of course people are going to gravitate towards that. Some of the other ones, your PWCCs, your alts, that sort of stuff. A lot of people don't like having the cards out of their hands stored at a vaulting service. I was getting, prior to everything going sideways, I was getting intrigued with the idea of PWCC for certain stuff because they had the ability to list and sell on eBay. I think them losing that really hurt them. With all the other shenanigans going on, I decided not to send them other cards and just kind of wait and see how things play out. But regardless, there are all these different marketplaces now. So this creates, I mean, it's good and bad. Competition is always good because it brings out innovation from, the existing companies. As competition comes out, people are going to keep doing better things to kind of fight for the cards, essentially the inventory. And I kind of talked about this a while ago when PWCC first split off. I think it was. I did a video called like Vault Wars or something like that, like the battle for your cards. And you're really seeing that now. eBay, while slow to move, has done some good things over the last year or so. They fixed bid retraction stuff. The big thing to me, the absolute biggest thing that they did was the 3-day return policy on trading cards once it's been delivered instead of 30 days to mark an item not as described. That was an absolute game changer that needed to happen. To me, the number one problem on eBay right now is non-payers. There is no reason we should not be able to leave non-paying buyers feedback. I've never understood why we can't do that. I've never understood why they have 4 days to pay and you have to just sit there with the card. And this market moves fast. 4 days can really matter. Just for them, after you ran it at a 7-day auction, then they have 4 days to wait to pay for it. Who knows what could have happened by then? Then they non-pay. Now you got to restart the auction over again. And maybe the card dropped 30% in value. That could happen. Maybe you get lucky and it went up 30%. That could happen too. So they have to do something about fixing the buyers on that platform and getting the bad buyers off there. Whether it's shutting their account down, letting us leave negative feedback, something has to be done with that. It's a massive problem over there right now. So, that part's good. It's driven people like MySlabs to be created. It's, they pushed PWCC off. Hopefully we see some innovation there. The thing that disappointed me about PWCC was when they rolled their fee structure out, it was the same as eBay, basically. It was slightly different, but it was essentially the same thing. I think that was a big miss by them. I think that was a massive miss by PWCC to have that high a fee structure. Alt has good fee structures. I just don't know that I necessarily trust them. I have an Alt account just to be able to look at cards on there. I have not tied my bank account or anything to them. I still don't know how I feel about them. StarStock I've used a bunch. It's really just good for moving low end junk at this point. Mid to high end stuff doesn't move on there. And check out my cards COMC. I just haven't spent a ton of time with. I don't know if it's a problem, but it does make a little more work for us in regards to checking comps. Because before, eBay was kind of the gold standard, and I believe that it still is in regards to checking prices. But I have found myself going out of my way to check Alt, to check MySlabs, to check some of the other sites for more low pop / rarer cards. Things that don't sell that often. If you're just talking about a Trae Young Silver Prism, yeah, sure. I'll look at eBay real quick and see what's going on. If I'm talking about, when I was looking up, recent example, when I was looking for my LeBron Chalk Toss Refractor PSA 9, there's not a lot of those that move on eBay. It's a low pop card. I think it's like pop 70 or so. So it might be a couple months till one sells. So I made sure that I was doing my research on the other platforms to see if any moved, what they sold for, and whatnot. And some of the data tools, Card Ladder, Sports Card Investor, Market Movers, and some of the other ones are starting to work deals with these other companies to gather that data. And I feel like that's the next battleground, is the fight for the sales data. Because whichever tool has the most comprehensive sales data that you could get it all in one place is going to be the one that people flock to. There's two things that you have to have: the sales data and the cards in your database. Card Ladder, who I've never personally, I have an account with them. I've dabbled on there before. My frustration with Card Ladder is that they don't have a lot of cards in their database. That's the reason why I like Market Movers. Because they have a ton of cards in their database. And they are working on getting other data sources into the programs. I think that'll make things a lot better. And I like that. I love that tool as is, but that'll just make it even stronger just because of the database of cards they have dwarfs everybody else. So the battle for that data is going to be extremely important. And as of right now, nobody has PWCC's data except PWCC, unless you're just manually watching something in. I don't think there's a way to go back and research that stuff. So it does make for split comps. You're going to have to be, once again, on common stuff, it's not that big of a deal. But on the more rare things, it's something to be cognizant of, to make sure you're checking all these other places to guarantee that you're accurate on your pricing, whether you're buying and or selling. But I do think, it really does split the market bases a little bit more. Yeah, there are less eyes on eBay because the money, there's only, I've talked about those other things. There's a pool of money to go around. Before, eBay, if you had the bucket of chicken, dad gets the big piece of chicken at the kitchen table. They were dad. They got the big piece of chicken. Now, there's a lot of kids at the table, and they are all taking some chicken from the bucket. All of a sudden, you're getting left over with whatever the scraps are. Now, eBay's not at that point yet, but you could see it chipping away at them. The pool of money that people would normally, if you had $1,000 in your card budget, it's all not getting thrown at eBay now. People are looking at eBay and going, okay, that Trey Silver Prism's $1,000 on eBay. Oh, I could go over here and get it on MySlabs for 90 or 900. I'll go do that. I'm going to save the $100. Forget the eyeball over here. Let me go over to MySlabs and get it, or maybe PWCC, or maybe Alt, or maybe someone, Sasha posts one on IG for sale, $875, shipped. Trae Young Silver Prism, PSA 10, whatever. That's all money filtering to other places. That's not going into your eBay sales. The world is, I don't want to say it's essentially fully open, but it's relatively back to normal. I was at a card show a week ago and it was absolutely packed with people. So I get the doom and gloom. People immediately want to jump to the doom and gloom aspect of it. And yeah, prices are coming down on a lot of stuff. But like I said, I was just at that Chip Shawana show in the middle of nowhere, Indiana, and it was packed. It was absolutely packed for I don't want to say random show. It's a pretty good sized show and it gets a lot of pub. Ryan from Card Collector 2 posted about it. It's been a long running show. That show's always done pretty well from what I've understood. This is my first time there, but it was busy. It was really busy on Saturday. My local shows still continue to be extremely busy for smaller local shows. I go first thing in the morning. I was at the one in Cleveland on Sunday. First thing in the morning, it started really slow. I got there at 9. By 10 o'clock, you looked around the room and the room was completely full. I don't know how much buying and selling is going on. You can't get a vibe for that, but there's a lot of people walking around, whether they're doing transactions or not. There's a lot of people in the room, so that tells me the interest is still there. The recent Dallas show I heard was a really, really good show. One of the vendors that I talk to on IG every once in a while, I've done a couple card deals with him in the past, sets up at Dallas and set up at Vegas. And he said the past Dallas show, he thought the market felt really healthy. There was not a lot of people looking to sell cards to vendors. Vendors were looking for inventory and there weren't people there selling it. The people were looking to buy, specifically basketball at that point in time, because it was right before the season started or right as the season was starting. So is the market slowing down, pulling back a little bit? Sure, maybe. But I don't think it's fair to just judge it on what eBay traffic looks like. The money is getting split across a lot of different things. Now, can all these places survive? I don't know. How many vaulting companies do we really need for higher end cards? And how many buyers of the nicer higher end stuff are out there to be able to support all these different vaulting services? So I think eventually maybe that pairs itself down a little bit. I don't know if it's like Highlander style. Can there be only one type situation where they all walk into a room? Like you go into the Thunderdome, 2 enter, 1 leaves type situation. 3 enter, 1 leaves. Put PWCC, Alt, and Goldin in a room with 1 stick and say, figure it out, see which one comes out. I don't know if it's going to be that extreme, and it'll probably take some time. And who's to say there's not more that pop up as well between now and then? So it's interesting times out there. Curious for your thoughts and opinions on this in the comments down below. Not sure if I'll have a Saturday video or not. As of right now, no. I'm going to continue to take Saturdays off unless something pops up, with maybe the occasional live stream. Oh, Saturday night, if you were in the Northeast Ohio area, if you're in the Cleveland, Ohio area, One of One Card Shop is doing their trade night again. It's the 1-year store anniversary. and trade nights. I believe it's 5 or 6 p.m. until whenever. They don't put an end time on it. I will be there. I'll probably get there right around when trade night begins, and I'll probably be there for a while. Last time I was there for quite a while. I know a lot of people at that trade night now. I know some people that work at the shop as well. So I will probably be hanging out there for most of the evening on Saturday. So if you're in that neck of the woods, please feel free to stop out and say hey. Also, really good, really good local card shop. Nice space, bunch of cool people. I've had a chance to meet some of them over the last few months. But yeah, swing by, check out the trade night. And that's it. You know, trade nights. Trade nights are another big thing where they're talking about this whole marketplace shenanigans stuff where a lot of deals are going down. So, yeah, that's all I got. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you guys, worst case, Sunday morning for the weekend review. Peace.